What is up with you guys, boys? Today will be one of those days that we have a more serious talk, obviously pertaining to business and finances as usual. And something I was thinking about for today is two things, right? The first thing, I feel that the system is kind of built, and I've spoken about this before, but I'm going back over it. I feel like the system is kind of built for you to do it not per se illegally, but like you have to cheat the system to win. Or you're just set in a situation of where like you are already winning. So like it's rather you're born into wealth and you're already winning off rip, or you have to exploit the system in some way to become a winner. So becoming illegal, getting something done, and then making it legal. That's literally how the system feels. I was doing some government stuff where I was doing some work with the government trying to see if I can get some stuff figured out. They basically declined it. Cool, whatever. But it had me thinking. I was like, okay, bruh. Jobs are hard as fuck to get, right? Job market is getting worse and worse by the day. It's impossible to get a job damn near without 6 years of experience. And then you're getting paid minimum wage. You're getting paid like 11. You need hella qualification just to get a job paying over $20, and it's insane. And then once you get that job, you're not even guaranteed to stay. And then once you even get the chance to get into that job, you're not guaranteed that you're going to get promoted or any of that. So it's just going to be dead end. And it's shitty. I'll be real with you. So I'm not the one trying to get into a job or nothing like that. And I'm not really looking for one, you know? But as it stands, it kind of feels like the system is built for people to fail. I mean, obviously, that's how any business would be. Why would you want everybody to succeed? But like, it seems a little OD. I'm not gonna lie. And it had me thinking, bro. I was like, now it's gotten to the point of where I'm thinking of ways of how can I exploit this to get this, or how can I do this to do this, or how can I bend the system a little bit to get this, to get this. And I guess that's how it's supposed to be. Like you want the people that think outside the box to be rewarded, but at what cost, you know? And I know there's some people that are definitely going through that same kind of thing right now where it feels that you have to force like any positive results. Like you would think it would come naturally. Like you do the right thing, you would think naturally you would win, but that's not the case. You doing things by the book only costs you to fail eventually. And yeah, there's some people that see success through cost or going through the book. And the reason for that is if you take the people that go to the book and they do things by the book and they don't succeed, and everybody that does stuff by the book doesn't succeed, but everybody that goes against the book succeeds, then what does that look like? It looks like now everybody, or it looks like, dang, I've been doing it by the book all this time. Maybe I should go against the book too. And maybe I'll have success. And then they start joining and they start doing it and yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, but this is going to have to be a quick video. But pretty much, it gets to that point of where it seems like you have to be forced to do something you don't want to do, regardless of how you do it. One of the ways is it takes longer, it's safer, but you're not guaranteed success. And the other way is kind of the same way, but it's illegal. You're not guaranteed success, but it's higher chances of making money and stuff like that. So I don't know. And that's basically how I've been feeling. I'm not gonna lie. So today is one of my rest days. I'm chilling. And I'm thinking, I'm like, how can I make extra bread? Like, there has to be a method that I haven't tapped into yet. And I know the main problem of me not being able to make bread right now is I don't have bread. And it's crazy that you need bread to make bread, but that's how it is. So I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I need to come up with like, effectively, an extra $200 a week would be solid as hell, right? I'm like, what can I do to make about $200 a week without spending money and without getting a job, so that I can start putting that money towards paying off credit cards, and then that money can further help me gain through the business. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, think. Why not start donating plasma? Now, I was like, I don't like needles. I don't like something sucking life out of me. That's just a weird concept when it comes to donating plasma. I don't want to just... Blood doesn't, like... I'm not icky with blood, and, like, needles don't really scare me or anything. I just don't like that shit. I don't know one person that does, besides some kinky, freaky vampire motherfuckers, man. But I was like, bro, how am I going to get this done? And I'm probably going to pause this video, do what I got to do, come back and replay it. But I was like, how am I going to get this done? Why not donate plasma? I think for my area, there's this place called CSL Plasma. I believe they pay $100 per visit, and you can do 2 visits per week. Now I'm like, okay, this is the least amount of work I have to do. Yeah, I'm going to feel a little tired, but if I get my shit figured out, like, I'm like, okay, I'm not technically bending the system, but I'm helping, kinda, like I'm donating plasma, but I'm being paid at the same time. So I'm like, all right, bet. What if I donate plasma twice a week? That's $200. 4 weeks, that's $800. That's $800 a week without a job. And all I do is sit there and get stuff sucked out of me. Sounds pretty solid to me. I mean, like I said, yeah, my energy levels are going to be much lower. Like, I know how that goes, but I'm going to have to start eating more effectively, which will also help with my diet in a way. Because, like, for me to replace red blood cells quickly, I need to eat efficient food. And for me to eat efficient food, I will have to start making my own food. And to make my own food, I need money to make my own food, and I'll have the money. And in order for me to make my own food and get the red plasma and all that stuff, I'm going to have to start eating clean. Meaning that effectively, I'm knocking out 3 birds with 1 stone here. I'm making more money, I'm eating healthier, and I'm getting a better physique without even having to really work out too much. Obviously, I'm going to keep like low cardio or moderate cardio, let me put it like that. I've been doing high intensity for the past few weeks, and it's been serving me well. But I mean, I'm obviously still gaining weight a little bit, or I'm staying at my steady weight. I'm gaining fat because I'm eating unhealthy. But if I can cut that out, that would be great. And like I said, this would make me a damn good amount of money. And I'm pretty sure it can't be taxed because of a donation, because it's a donation of some sort. But I'm being compensated, so I'm wondering if I get taxed on that compensation or what. I don't know. But that is food for thought. I will probably come up with more ideas to talk about on this video. I'm going to leave my phone here, and I'm going to do all my shit here. I'm going to go do what I got to do, and I'm going to come back. I'll check you guys in a second. All right. I'm back. So let's get this video, a little finished. Basically, to resume back to what I was we're talking about, I feel like you have to get really creative, which is a good thing. I feel like you have to get really creative with how you make money. And for the people that don't have well-developed skills or the means of finding those skills, I feel that you're at a huge disadvantage. I'll be real. These skills that I'm using now to make money, I can only imagine if I didn't have them, I would need a job. If I don't have a job, I'd be done. I'd have $0 in my bank account. I would never be able to make money. I have money, or I have skills in sales, flipping, creative skills, wink, wink, credit card, or credit skills and knowledge. It's the knowledge and the skill set that I have. The skill set isn't too important. It's the knowledge that I have. At the end of the day, I still know certain things that other people don't know to make money. Once again, like donating plasma. Most people don't even know you can make money from doing such a thing. And I also have the willingness to do it. I went in my mom's room. I remember this was 3 months ago or something like that. It was right around when I was getting broke. I was $0 in bank account kind of broke. like credit or not credit. Yeah, credit cards were maxed out, like $0 in bank account, don't know what I'm doing, like money isn't coming through, kind of broke. And I remember going in a room and I was like, bro, do you know how to donate plasma? Like, do you know where I can do that at? This is when I first found out you can make money off of it. She was like, you must be really desperate. I was like, what the fuck? If there's one thing that my family does very well, it's belittling the fuck out of you, bro. I was like, oh my God. Obviously, if you're asking a question for help as a dude specifically, you don't want to ask for help. You do not, like, it's already a burden to go to somebody and ask them for help, let alone them basically tell you, oh yeah, you're a loser. Like, shut the fuck. I almost tweaked out, bro. Like, mentally, I was like, bro, oh my God. She was like, you need to get a job. I don't know why you. I was like, oh my God. Now I got to face a lecture. I asked a question, bro. And it'd be things like that that'll really, like, send me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But, yeah. Shit, bro. And, I have a video that's archived in my camera roll right now. And I mean to post it maybe, like, today on Instagram. But I saw something yesterday that made me think to myself, yeah, I need to start getting my bread up and like actually focusing on making money more than I am on, or no, focus on making money, content, and building a future at the same time. And I'm basically just going to recap what I said in the video or what I'm going to have posted on my Instagram. And it was me saying, yesterday I was running some errands with my nephew, and he had to go ahead and drop some items off the post office, and he was like, hey, let's go to 7-Eleven. And I was like, all right, bet. We went to 7-Eleven. On our way back, or on our way from the post office to 7-Eleven, as we were turning into the 7-Eleven, like a cop stopped us and went like this. And you can see it was a white Nissan that hit a white RSQ8 Audi. Now, if you don't know what a RSQ8 is, it's a Lamborghini Audi truck. If you don't know, Audi is Lamborghini. And it's all owned by Volkswagen. So my dad used to work for Volkswagen, so I knew this stuff because I had to study it, and I wanted RSQ8. RSQ8s go for like 89 grand and up. So they're not cheap cars. And this looked like a 2025 model. So I knew, and it probably was fully loaded or some crazy shit like that, right? It was a white lady that was driving that car, like I'd say 40s to 50s. And the person driving the Nissan, I didn't get to see who it was because they were in the car. But I believe that it was a teenager because it was like a 2012 Nissan. And when they went to the 7-Eleven parking lot to talk with the police officers because they were in the middle of the road, an Arabic teenage dude, or he looked like he was like 20, maybe 19, 20, or a little older. And the girl that hopped out looked like she was 20 and under, but she wasn't like under the age of 16. And I was thinking, first of all, the first thing I was thinking is, how the hell did she end up in the oncoming traffic lane from that angle? Dead, like it was a dead-on head collision, and her car was destroyed. Not the Audi. The Audi didn't have any damages besides a little piece of plastic trim that fell off. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You hit an expensive car, it doesn't matter. The Nissan, on the other hand, the front hood was all crinkled up. The front bumper was all smashed in. There was pieces of the car just left in the middle of the road that they ended up picking up and moving. But to make my point, it was, the only thing I was thinking of was, damn, I didn't care about the car, either of the cars, but the only thing I was thinking was, whoever hit that car is going to be in generational debt. And you're probably saying, what do you mean generational debt, bro? It's just $89,000 car. Minimum $89,000, and that's before tax. Yeah, so it probably came up to about 100,000 in it. So she hit that car, and I'm thinking like, this person's insurance is going to go up. And 9 times out of 10, or 5 times out of 10, kids that age don't really have insurance because it's too expensive, or they go under their parents. So not only am I sure that their insurance probably doesn't fully cover it, or probably won't cover it because they were in the wrong, and there's a whole lot of loopholes, and that's a whole nother conversation on itself. So let's say that that person didn't have insurance. They now have to pay $89,000. Matter of fact, even more than that. Let's say base $89,000. Let's say for the damages, the damages weren't that severe, but once again, with a good lawyer, and I'm sure that lady that's driving that car has a lawyer on retainer. Let's be honest. If you haven't lived in the suburbs before, there's a lot of families that have money and they have lawyers for everything on retainer at all times, just in case. I'm guaranteeing you she has a lawyer on retainer. They hit her car, they're probably going to be paying like $25,000 in damages, even though it didn't even look that bad. Their insurance might or might not cover it, depending on certain things, if they even had insurance. But the way they looked stressed, it didn't look like they had insurance. Like, the girl damn near looked like she was about to just, like, bust out in tears. She was over there going like this. And it was like, so I was like, that's why it had to be her. It had to be her that hit that car. Or it was probably her car that her brother was driving. I don't know. But, yeah, bro. And I was thinking to myself, and it's not, once again, it wasn't even about the cars. I was thinking, money is so necessary, and it can be at any time. Anything can happen. And the fact is, I don't like using money. Like, it's not that I don't like money. Obviously, you have to like it to some extent. You're using it every single day of your life, all times of your life. But I don't like money. If I could live a life without having to use money, obviously I would. Obviously. And the whole goal that I've been having recently has been to move in a certain way in the future of where money is not a concept to me. That I can just automated like live life. Like, I can just enjoy life genuinely. And that's what I feel like a lot of people just want to do. But they see it as like the flashy jewelry and stuff like that makes it seem like the life is more real that they're living. Me, I don't care for any of that. I would genuinely be completely fine living on the countryside, harvesting rice, making my own plants, making my own food fresh from the garden, bringing it inside, cooking, eating a nice broth, studying a little bit, going out and working on my car, driving my car through the mountains, coming back home, going on a bike ride, going grocery shopping, walking around sometime during like rush hours and stuff like that. Like, that sounds peaceful and calm and cool. I've always said I wanted to live a peaceful life. At first, I thought I could get that through Utah, and I'm pretty sure I could, but it would be more expensive, and that's the problem. I've wanted to live a peaceful life, but in America, it comes at the expense of money. And I find that the more I chase money, the more unhappy I become. And the more systematic my life becomes. It turns into the point of where you wake up, you work, you come home, and there's nothing to do. You sleep, you work. Like, I've seen, no disrespect to him, but I've seen how like my brother, and no disrespect to anybody else, but I've seen how my brother, my mom, my sister, my dad live, and everybody basically in my immediate family that has a job. And it's literally wake up, work, 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 get off, consume. And when I mean consume, I mean cope with your stress, sleep, watch TV, go out and party, do any of those things. Go out and socialize and spend money, whatever you want to do. Go to sleep, repeat, with occasional days off. And that is not how I can live. I cannot live my life like that. I'm going to be real with you. That kind of lifestyle right there was what was fueling my like depression, and genuinely at one point made me just want to end it. I'll be so real. And for the longest time, I thought I just had depression straight up. It's not that at all. I don't believe. I feel like depression is an environmental symptom. Let me put it like that. I don't believe you're born with just heavy depression. I mean, some people maybe, yeah. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I don't believe you're just born with it. I feel like it's something that through days and days of sustaining a certain environmental change or environmental effect, it develops you and molds you into a certain mental state that can become parasitic at one point and can cause further problems. And like I said, when I was chasing money, like actively, like trading every single day, working on my side businesses every day, working at a job every single day, I was genuinely overwhelmed and depressed. Like I felt horrible having to be able to deal with all that. But nowadays, I don't have a job. I have even less money. I have like, I was saying I was making from my job alone, like, like 800 a week ish. So that's why I wanted to donate plasma, because I'll basically be making the same thing I was making before. But day trading, I was making so much more. So I'm making probably like 2% of what I was making then. The only difference is my time is freed up and my energy has increased. I now have time to do what I want, when I want, how I want, at the expense of, yes, at some point, I'm going to have to make money more than I'm making now, because something can fall apart, and if I don't have the money, it could ruin my life. I know that. But as of the current day and situation, and I'm dealing with it day by day, I've noticed that it's not the money that really made me feel some kind of way. It was the ability to do what I wanted. I thought I was having fun back when I was driving my Tesla and doing all these things. But in reality, all I was doing was living life. I just had the money to do it. Now I have the money to live life decently, like very below my means. I have the ability to live life very below my means, but I can still live it how I want to. And that is so much more worth it than working a job and having all these problems. And like I said, there are situations that will arise that obviously you will have to have money for. Something could happen, you can get sick, something like that. But to what extent is it worth it? And to what extent is it, I'm kind of just doing it for the love of the game at this point, or the hate of the game in that case? When does it become, yeah, I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing and I have no regrets? And when does it become, I want to end it, right? And most people don't get to find that balance because they have so many responsibilities that they can't leave. And I understand that it's a privilege to be in the case that I'm at, of where I have the ability to where I don't have to work a job, and I have the ability to spend time on my side businesses and hobbies that I have, and able to somewhat figure myself out and give myself that kind of time. I know that's a privilege because there's a lot of people that don't have that chance, but I've worked for it as well. It's not just been that I've been handed this opportunity. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with luck and situation and circumstance. But to what point does it become, I earn this for myself? And I feel that earning it for myself is being able to accomplish the goals and the dreams that I've set out for myself in the past and make that a physical thing that I can touch and feel, which in my case would be me moving and me enjoying a life outside of America and me actually being able to do what I want with my life in a different country and in a different environment and explore and enjoy things. Like I said, it no longer falls into the monetary value per se, but it falls into what I can do with that money instead. I would rather have $1,000 and all the freedom in the world than have $10,000 and still know that I have to go do something for somebody else every single day of my life for the rest of for virtually the rest of my life. And that's not enjoyable to me. And like I said, I would rather enjoy life than what's the word that I'm looking for? I'd rather enjoy it to its fullest than to only enjoy it partially and regret a large sum of it. a lot of people, I guarantee you, on their like final days on this earth, or when they know it's their final moments, or they have the ability to kind of just sit back and see like, this is what you've done with your life. I feel like a lot of that regret comes to, I regret not spending enough time with my family. I regret working every single day. I regret not being able to do the things that I wanted to do. I regret not going to that event. I regret not doing this with my friends. And it's all these different regrets. And you're not ever once in your life going to regret. I regret not working enough hours at that job. There might be cases where people say, I regret not putting my time and effort into that one thing that could have been. But once again, you'll never, I feel like, it's a very small amount of people that I feel like would regret not working enough hours. Once again, it doesn't fall to the amount of hours that you work. It falls to the amount of monetary money or value that you can grasp and use. And a lot of people get it mixed up and they get a love for the money instead of the love for the game. The money gets you the game, but the game is the goal. It's not the money. You don't work towards the money. If you work towards the money, I mean, money is always going to be there. Let's think of it like this. The game is on a limited edition offer. Let's put it like that. Right now, your game has 24 hours left, or in this case, 50 years left. You only have 50 years left to play the game. Money is always going to be there for that 50 years. You can always get the money at any time. I could walk down the street right now and pick up a dollar bill, but I can't walk down the street and just enjoy life without getting the money to play the game, if that kind of makes sense. I know that analogy was all over the place, but you have to see it like that. And that's how I've kind of been seeing life recently. It's more of, I would rather just enjoy it while I have it than spend all my time seeking after something that's just physical. I would rather enjoy the physical aspect of life while enjoying the mental side of life at the same time. So I don't know if that made a whole lot of sense, but that's what I got yesterday from seeing that car accident. And I was thinking, I was like, damn, that whole family is going to go through some hardships, all because of that one decision. And it can all happen just like that. And had nothing to do with the parents, but the parents are going to have to take that lick too. And it's crazy that that's how it is, but that's how it do be, man. What do I have planned for tomorrow? Yeah. What do I have planned for tomorrow? I don't know. I'll be real with you. I think what I'm going to do today is see if I can get all my documentation, to see if I can go get the plasma stuff like confirmed and done and set up. That way I can start as early as possible. But for what I'm going to do, I don't know. Genuinely, I don't. It's been like that for a few days where I'm kind of just like, it's at nighttime that I kind of have those thoughts of where I'm like, okay, what do I need to do to be successful? And then I'll make a list while I'm like in that 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. depression, and it'll give me the ideas of what I need to do in the morning. And usually it turns out pretty well. So today there was nothing on my list. There are a few things I have to go ahead and cover, like following people on Instagram, getting people offers on Depop, going through a few things on there, checking my balance on Depop and getting things managed. And once I get all my business stuff done for today, I'm pretty much solid. I might go on a little bike ride, or I might go play a little hoop session or something like that at like 4 p.m. But as of right now, I'm spending a lot of my time looking at YouTube videos. And right now, this current second before I made this video, I was watching, or not watching, but I was listening to music, and I was going through Facebook Marketplace seeing if I could find a vehicle that fits my budget. My budget for purchasing a vehicle will probably be about $800 to start off. So if I can find one for about 1.2 or like 1K and negotiate that down, I feel like I'd be set. I don't really have an archetype of car that I'm looking for right now because my budget is so low. But as long as it's decently clean and it just needs some like a little bit of love, then that's about perfect for me. I don't care about miles right now. Once again, I'm no place to make demands. As long as the car runs and drives and it works, it's completely fine. Cosmetic has nothing to do with it because I can always flip that for an additional like 500, 600. And that gets me enough money to get within that range of where I can start demanding some stuff. After I sell this vehicle, the first thing or the first order of business is going to be going straight with that money into another vehicle worth around like, my goal profit is to double. So if I spend $800 on this car, I want to sell for 1,600. That's the goal. And then taking that 1,600, maybe taking out 400 of it and going into a $1,000 car. There's brackets of vehicles, if you did not know. You have under 1,000, which are like the doo-doo cars that need work, like heavy work. Occasionally, you can find like a really decent car that just has cosmetic damage and like rust and stuff like that. You can usually sell those for pretty decent money to like high school students and stuff like that. The second tier of car is, I'll say, 6,500 and 1,100 in between there. And that's like mid-range cars where it's decent. You can find some cool stuff in there. But anything above that is kind of like, no, you don't want to touch that unless you're a dealership. So we're going to have to see. Like I said, I'm still looking. I have to shift. And then the problem is with these cheaper cars, a lot of people don't have titles. They don't have VINs. They don't have pictures. It's a lot of weird things. You have to learn how to sift through it. And that's once again one of those skills that I've kind of developed over the past few years. And I'm glad that I did while I was doing it. Because I knew it was going to be a valuable skill. Becoming a mechanic and being able to source vehicles and being able to source market items and all this stuff was skills that I knew I was going to need. And I'm so glad I learned them because they will make me my startup money for the rest of this little project that I got going on. So once I can start doing that, it's all good. But that'll be main prop number one. That, checking up on my money on eBay, whenever that money gets released, we're active into the business. All that money is going to go straight on B, a credit card, or A, in my bank account to sit for a bit until I find a car. If I have a car lined up immediately, all that money will be going straight towards the car. If I do not have that money set up immediately to buy a car, then I'm going to go ahead and put that in my credit card, and I can always withdraw it out of that card if needed. That way I can lower my credit usage, and I can go ahead and spike up my credit score just a little bit and keep it like that for a minute. And that should be straight, okay? I don't think there's anything else I got to do with that money as of now. Once I do pay off, or once I do make that money off of the second sale, that's when we start really getting jiggy. And that's when life is going to become a little bit easier. Like I said, the plasma donations are hopefully going to relieve a little bit of stress. And I can start doing that. And within like 4 or so weeks, I can use that money to pay off other credit cards. And I won't have to worry about using that money from the profit of the cars to do that. So it's going to be like, I'm dual wielding right now. And I'm like going crazy. So if I can keep, you know what I mean, then I'll be straight. Because if I get that credit card cleared off, all my credit cards cleared off, and I'm making money on the side, that's going to be absolutely game changing. And that money is going to go into trading, which half of that money will go into trading, which will be super solid for me. And the rest of that money, I'm going to have to kind of decide where it's going. But as of now, it's going to be going back into my business. That's going to be making me passive income as the weeks go on. I'm probably going to order a lot of those items into stock to me. Another thing I have to update now that I'm on that task. Boom, I did order 5 bags, the ones that have been making me a lot of money recently. I ordered 5 of those. They should be arriving at my house within like September 2nd or something like that. Which is a decent amount, a little bit away. It's like 9-10 days away, which is cool. I ain't got no rush for it, but when those do get here, I will be doing a quality check on those, and I will have those I will be doing a quality check on those, and I will be having those relisted under the same listing but different pictures, and it will have faster shipping. So with the faster shipping, I believe I will be making more sales. I do need to find out if I could do free shipping on those items. I know there is a way, but I'm wondering if I can get banned for doing that. So I'm not doing it right now, but I will do it. But I won't need to do the free shipping method if I do have the product actually physically in hand. So that's something I'm gonna have to explore and do a little bit more research in, but I have been looking into that recently. And that's pretty much the whole schematic of how I'm about to make this bread into like 10 bands. And the thing is, this system that I have in place is literal like small step multipliers. It's insane. I'm breaking it down for you guys in like puzzle pieces and a cross step on like or not cross step, a crossword puzzle. It's like you move here, you move here, you move here, and move there, you move there, and move there, and it starts looking more, you know what I mean? So like I said, to start it off, we've been doing well. The plasma, if I can get that plasma stuff locked in, I'm pretty much golden. And then the second thing is if I can get the car locked in and I can get a good sale on that car, we're stellar. It's literally impossible for me to lose at that point unless something like God sent negatively happens. Like unless something crazy happens, I'll be set. Okay. And that'll make me a few bands. And then off of that few bands, I'll also have built my credit. So I'll be back to like flat even. I'm good. That's where I want to be. I want to be flat even dandy. Because once I get there, I'm straight. Then after that, like I said, if I invest a large sum of that amount of money into my day trading account, plus I'm still selling cars, plus I'm still doing plasma, plus I put the rest of that money into the business that makes me passive income on the side. What? That's 4 streams of income that are producing me large sums of money. I'm gonna be, oh my God, I'm gonna be basking in sunlight and glory. And then after that, what I'm probably going to do after I make about 10 bands or so, like I planned originally, I'm probably going to take a trip out to like Japan or something, see how it's out there, spend like a month out there, a week out there, however long I need to. But I'll start it off by spending like maybe a week and seeing if I like it or not. And yeah, if it goes well, maybe come back and do a month. And then after that, maybe come back and do a year, like keep doing this, see how it goes. Spend that time traveling and just kind of seeing how everything is. And like I said, just enjoying life while trying to keep everything automated. And the good thing about all those business structures that I just listed off is they're all automated to some extent. The car sales, I don't have to physically go out and talk to people and do car sales. They will come to me. And then when needed, I can have somebody else sell the car for me if I need to. The only thing is I might have to write off on the title, but I have ways around that. But you might have to write off on the title on it. Like I said, that's semi-automated. Selling clothes on Depop, eBay, Facebook, all automated as well, semi-automated. Day trading, it's day trading, semi-automated. YouTube videos, if I can monetize my YouTube videos, that would be so, oh my God, that would be amazing. That would literally just be automated, and I'd have to make videos every once in a while, but semi-automated. It'd be insane, bro. And that would be like my dream job right there, to have all those different businesses making me steady income and not having to work on them as hard. And that's what I'm saying. I would rather make $20,000 a year off of businesses that I've made that I know I can scale. And the thing is, these businesses can be scaled. Oh my God. This game plan is amazing. I can tell I'm dehydrated because I've been spitting fucking spit everywhere, but like, I'm excited to see what the future holds. And like I said, if I keep executing like I have been consistently, I feel like I'm going to be great. And I'm glad that you guys have been able to watch this process from me starting off with $0 in my bank account and struggling to where now I'm getting to the point of where like the things are starting to slowly come together and I'm coming up with more and more ideas to make more and more money on top of it. And bro, it's getting good, okay? If this was a Netflix series, this is like around the peak. It's not the climax yet. The climax could be good or bad. We'll have to see. But as of right now, we're setting up, and this is like the, I forgot the word for it, but on the roller coaster scale, it's like right in between the low and the high. I forgot. I think it's just the build up, but this is the build up for the finale. So we're gonna have to see how it goes. And yeah, that's everything for this video. I don't want it to be too long, so it won't post. But I'm probably gonna go make some oatmeal or something. I'm a little hungry. But I'll check you guys later. I love y'all, and peace. Toodaloo.